All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Christina. I am living in Barcelona for the past year and a half. I've been living abroad as a digital nomad for 5 years now. I'm originally from New Jersey. I left the US in 2019 and kind of created this crazy lifestyle on my own. So grab your tea, grab your drink, whatever you want to be. We're gonna have a little chit chat and let's jump into everything for today. Today, we're gonna do things a little bit differently. We're just gonna have an open chit chat together because I feel like there's been some updates and some life things that I just want to kind of work through with you guys. I feel like YouTube very much recently has been allowing me to share more of my life abroad or building a business or what the reality of just growing up is like, being an adult is like. And so I find that this is kind of like my video diary to share the realities of all of that and to go in more depth. I think my short form content can only give so much, and I feel like here I can give you guys a bit more of my personality and a bit more of life and the thoughts that kind of go behind living this lifestyle. And so whether you relate to this or if you are aspiring to live abroad or you want to work for yourself, or maybe you want to move to a new city, or maybe you just enjoy this channel and you enjoy watching these videos, which I hope you do. So this is a new series that I want to introduce, just chit-chatting through life together. I think we all move through so many different chapters, and how amazing is it to share the chapter with you guys and share the updates and work through. I feel like you guys help me work through my own thoughts, even though I'm not necessarily speaking to anyone right this second. When I'm recording it, I know I'm really speaking to you guys when you watch it. And I just love the conversations that we're able to have or the feelings that are able to be shared over these topics. So let's get right into it. And let's start with Barcelona. So if you have not seen my video I did a couple weeks ago talking about my thoughts on Barcelona and is the cost worth living here, definitely check that out because I go into detail about the tax situation and my feelings recently on it. So definitely watch that if you want to see a more in-depth view. I'm going to kind of follow along with that now for what my updated thoughts have been, because things have, I don't want to say changed a bit, but my outlook might have changed a bit and I feel almost a bit more lost. So I'm not going to have an election talk on here. I don't want to really dive heavily into that. But I just want to say that prior to the election, I had a lot of these thoughts of maybe it was time to slowly start spending a little bit more time in the US. I've been abroad for 5 years. I really miss my family. And I feel like I'm missing out on more and more and more by me being away the longer time I have. And I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of just seeing people grow up and being there for people. And I know that the choices I have made are the correct ones for me, and I don't necessarily regret them by any means. I love my life abroad. It's just if I could spend a bit more time at home and also live abroad, then I think that balance might be better. However, with everything going on, I just feel like that might have a bit of a pause. Just the polarity of everything that's kind of happening in the country. And right now I would need to see a lot more changes, positive changes happen for me to actually really consider that step anymore. The cost of living in the US is obviously astronomical, and people voted the way they did for the economy. And so my hope is that the economy does go the way that people are hoping it does, for sure. I don't know if that's really gonna happen, but we all can hope for the best. So I feel a bit of this, like, I need to see more change before I make a decision on that front. And right now, I think that change won't even happen within the next year. So I feel like Barcelona is probably the place we will be for at least the next year. And it is difficult because the way Spain taxes work is like when you come here and you register as self-employed, your first year, you have a discount. You pay 80 euros a month in Social Security. That's obviously in addition to your taxes. And then after that, year 2 and year 3, things really do change a lot in terms of the amount that you're paying for Social Security. So my payments are about to go up to about $500 to $600 a month in Social Security contributions. And so that has definitely been like a whoa moment of, okay, is this worth it? And is the cost of my lifestyle here out balancing the high cost of my taxes. And I said that I was gonna give myself a few months to really look at the numbers and to see what that kind of, if there is a disparity or if it does make sense, and then start to make more decisions based on that. We have about another year and a half left on our visa. So in 6 months' time, we'll have a year, and it'll give me good time to kind of reevaluate. But I do think we'll be here for another year anyway. But it is just something to consider, like, oh, the payments are so high. Like, I wish they weren't as high. And Spain is continually increasing them over the next few years. And so I want to share with you guys this little chart of what these Social Security contributions are going to look like in the next few years. And so if you are an American and you're coming here and living abroad, you're most likely going to be in the higher earned income in Spain census. If you make anywhere over 60,000 euros a year or $6,000 a year, you are a high income earner in Spain. So as you can see, those numbers really shoot up. So the next couple of years are really going to start increasing. So that's where like my brain has been like, all right, we really need to do the math on this. We really need to figure out what the best step is. And maybe it is a different country, I don't know, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. And so I've been doing more research and talking to more people, which is why I filmed the recent video where I sat down with 2 tax professionals who specialize in expats, entrepreneurs, and digital nomads about what the best choices are for you in living abroad and where to set up your businesses and how to really get the best benefits tax-wise. So if you were really interested and you haven't decided I'm moving to Spain, or you want to know what your options are, check this video out. It is such a great understanding. I will say, like, the moral of the story is that there are a few countries in Europe that it actually makes sense to live financially for tax purposes. And so they give really great information on what things you need to consider and what you should know prior to making the moves or prior to applying for visas. And I'm not saying that Spain is a horrible place. It is not a horrible place by any means. I'm pretty sure they call it like the sunshine tax, a lifestyle tax of living here. The lifestyle is so good, guys. Like, the lifestyle is amazing. I absolutely love it. So it depends on what you're willing to pay for. If you're not living in Barcelona, like say you're living in a smaller town or either in southern Spain, the cost of living is way less than here. So you might be saving even way more. I'm only 31 years old, and so I'm still, and maybe for a lot of people my age, they're like, I'm in suburban mode. I am still in city mode. I am still in let's have social things, I want events to go to, I want things happening on the weekends. Like, I want to have all those options to me, and I want all these different cuisines and restaurants, and so I am not in suburban life, and I don't know if I will be in suburban life for a very long time. So for me, I always want to live in a city, so that's something that I consider and think about. But I just think that Barcelona has so much to offer, and so does Spain in general. Barcelona has an amazing expat and foreigner community, so you have people who you can relate to. You have great Spanish culture, which I love. Spanish food's good. The lifestyle's amazing. You learn to really just enjoy life here. Spanish people enjoy life so well, and you kind of learn to do the same. And you have easy access to other places in Europe. Barcelona, traveling super easy. And the sunshine is absolutely incredible. Like, how much sunshine we get a year is amazing. Even when it's cold, it's still sunny. It's like perfect blue skies out right now. Even on my sweater, it's still like really, really nice in the sun. And another thing I love about Barcelona is the fact that it's a very social city. There's always events going on. There's always some sort of food festival, street festival. There's some sort of cultural thing going on. There's a big mixing pot of culture, so you get really good food. And all of those aspects make Barcelona such a big winner in my eyes. And then obviously you have this feeling of weight when it comes to building wealth and financial success here as an entrepreneur that kind of like weighs down that. So there are definitely things to think about, and that's kind of what's been playing in my head a lot. And I don't know what our life is going to look like in the future. My boyfriend is a DJ and music producer, and so he's working on building his career. But if it gets to a point where his career really takes off, then we might have to consider a different option for where the best place for us to be is. So not only am I trying to figure out what my personal view is, but I also feel like we have a bit of a unknown in terms of what our life is gonna look like in a couple of years. So yeah, it's a bit crazy. It is definitely a bit crazy, and I think that's kind of where my brain starts to spin and stuff. But I try and remind myself to live now in the moment. And I think that's so, so important, is like, I am such a big, where do you think we're going to be in a year from now? Where do you think we're going to be from 2 years from now? And I don't ever get rigid and stuck in like what it has to be, but I'm a big dreamer. And so when I can only dream to a certain extent, because I truly don't know the outcome of some of these situations or scenarios or what life can bring, then I start to be like, oh God, I don't know. So that stresses me out a bit and makes my brain kind of spin. So it's just been a bit of a chaos whirlwind in my head. And I feel like I don't know the answers, and I think that's what probably drives me crazy. I mean, if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know what you think we should do or I should do or anything like that. But I think it can kind of just go into a whirlwind. And my brain is like the computer that has 44 tabs open at once. Like, that is how my brain works and how easily things are just switched and thoughts and everything. And I haven't actually spoken about this before, but I really want to go and get tested for ADHD, because the more that I've kind of learned about it, and I talked to one of my friends who has it, the more I've really related to some of the symptoms. And I'm not saying, oh, I can't focus and that's why I have it. Like, there's lots of other aspects of ADHD besides having a very chaotic brain with multiple thoughts, pretty much sounds in my head on a constant basis. It sounds like I have a couple tracks going on at a time sometimes. I am so forgetful. I will put down my phone and I will lose it. And that probably happens about 14 times a day. I lose a lot of my stuff. I have high emotional responses to things that I really can't control all the time. And there's like certain aspects of ADHD when I was looking into that really kind of coincide with a lot of those symptoms. And I don't want to put a label on the way that I might be thinking. Maybe it is just my brain, but I really have been struggling, I would say, in the past like year or two. And I think the more I started to learn about it and talk to one of my friends, the more I started to think like, maybe this is the reason behind a lot of things that have happened in my life. And I want to go through the process of trying to get diagnosed here just to know, because I don't even really necessarily believe in being in like pharmaceutical medication every day for the rest of my life to try and fix my brain, but I also would like to figure out what the options are. But I have such a fear of trying to do that here in Spain, because medical conversations in Spanish I really, really struggle with. And you can find some English-speaking doctors, but it is a bit harder. And sometimes that gap in communication can be frustrating. I have chronic kidney stones and I've been to the doctor here a bunch of times. And I feel like it is a struggle trying to get across what I'm feeling and what I'm going through and my thoughts, because even with an English-speaking doctor in the US, sometimes it takes a bit of back and forth for them to understand you. And so here it's taking like double or triple the amount of time, and I feel like there's maybe some sort of lost information in that translation as well. And so that's kind of like why I've been a bit nervous to go ahead with it and try and figure out like if it is something I'm dealing with. If it's not, like my family, I'm pretty sure my family has it as well. Like we've all kind of gone through this conversation now recently, because I think it's such a more open topic to talk about. But yeah, so I'm trying to work on that and trying to find ways to deal with it and find my best route here in Spain to take with that diagnosis. I don't know if it's quite as commonly diagnosed here in Spain. So I don't know. It's just like, it's one thing that I think weighs on me a bit, but I've been trying to prioritize my mental health outside of that by going to the gym more and making myself feel happy with the way I feel and the way I look. And I think that has definitely improved my overall mood and focus and stuff. But yeah, it's like this weird journey of like, can I be 31 and be undiagnosed with ADHD? Maybe. Who knows? And I'm not seeking that diagnosis, but it's what the diagnosis that I've come the closest to conclusion on. I've taken a bajillion tests online and every single one says yes. And I'm not saying that online quizzes are the way to go. Obviously you need a real doctor diagnosis, but I think being able to understand my brain a little bit more would maybe help me be more productive and not get so frustrated with myself sometimes. But yeah, it's kind of like a struggle a bit. And I think that's one thing with living abroad, is that especially being in a country where you don't speak the language fluently, healthcare can be a bit scary sometimes. So I'm trying to find more English-speaking doctors, only because I want the best healthcare for myself. So we're on that journey as well, for sure. But on a positive note, I've been kind of having a lot more thoughts on my dreams for next year. I did a little kind of reset, and I did my reset video, which you guys can see. It's about becoming the best version of yourself in 2025. But I really started to work on my plans and my actions for the new year back about a month ago. And I was like, I want to take these next 3 months to really get myself ahead and get myself, already in the motions of becoming the best version of myself and creating my dreams in 2025. And so I started to really build what I want that to look like and sitting with my own thoughts on what I want my day-to-day to look like, what do I want my lifestyle to look like, what makes me happy. And so a big part of that is content. And I really, really, really want to become a full-time content creator, combination of YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Like I want to be able to build this into something that is great. Like I want to be great, and I want to build this into something that will be great. And so that's what I'm working on. So I am going to be upping my YouTube videos to 2 videos a week so I can share more with you guys and just provide more content and get to know me a bit more. And so I think that's also really, really important. So I have lots of really good stuff coming your way. And I just posted on Instagram the other day because I've been doing digital nomad content for so long. Like 2020, I started posting digital nomad content. We're gonna go into 2025. It'll be about 5 years of it. And so I still believe very much in the power of going after your dreams and building your dream life and quitting the job that God makes you so unhappy. Like I am so for that. I'm all here for it. And I still want to provide that inspirational content. But I feel like I've evolved so much in the past year alone living in Barcelona. I think having our long-term place again, like having the joy of decorating it and feeling like a bit more of I don't want to say an actual adult, but I kind of feel like more of an actual adult. My life isn't just in 2 suitcases that I'm moving around the world. I get to have a wardrobe that I love, and I get to find really cool brands here in Europe, and I'm back in a routine, and I've become such a big fan of thrifting and going to vintage shops, and now I really, really love clean skincare and all these things that I want to start incorporating into my short form content on Instagram and TikTok, and maybe even on here on YouTube, and share more of like that aspect of how I'm growing as a person and a creator. And I posted on Instagram and got such great responses from people because I'm always so afraid people are going to unfollow because I'm not providing like how to become a digital nomad anymore. And it's not that I'm going to completely stop that stuff. I just want it to be more about my evolution. I just want to share more of my evolution as a person and how that all kind of looks. So that's been really exciting to kind of put that out there and have conversations with people about it, and people telling me, Christina, absolutely do it. So I'm gonna do it. And part of that is that it's gonna be 2 videos a week on YouTube, whether it's a vlog, a talking to you guys, a chit chat video, whatever it is, but providing you guys more content and more value. I'm really excited to be on this journey, and I feel like I'm really truly finding myself just from being in Barcelona and feeling like I grew up a little bit, or a lot of it probably, and then getting back into my health and fitness and feeling like I like to look at myself in the mirror again, and I am back to being healthy, and then having this dream of really expanding my content and expanding this world with you guys. That is what makes me happy, and I feel like I'm building that version of myself right now, and I cannot wait for the new year. I have so much more stuff coming for you guys. I will still be sharing stuff on the Spain Digital Nomad visa. There's some updates video coming going into 2025 for what you can expect. And I want to share what I spend in a month in Barcelona and the cost of living and my plan to be a full-time content creator in 2025. All of this stuff is exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it all. So I hope you guys will join me on this journey. I hope you enjoy the videos. If there's more things you want to see, please leave them in the comments and let me know. I think it's important to build this together and for me to provide videos for you guys, the stuff you want to see and what you want to know more about. And yeah, I'm really excited, and I feel really grateful for all of you guys. I feel really grateful for this platform, and I feel really grateful for what's to come in the new year. So we're all in this together and you guys are gonna come on the ride with me. But if you are liking this content, liking this channel, if you like me, then please make sure you subscribe and join the community because it means so much. So I can't explain it. It means so much to me just to see you guys commenting on stuff and asking me questions. And like I said, you could always DM me on Instagram with anything that you want to talk about. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys next one. Bye.